WMBD This Morning.
Welcome back. Before the break, you heard Dennis Glavin performing a song very close to his heart.
That's right. Now we have him sitting down with us to tell us a little bit about his story and why he got into music. So, Dennis, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Now, we hear the phrase, it's never too late to start something new. So what made you decide to get into music?
Well, I was in the high school band, as a teenager, and I had a long period of time where I'd always wanted to start playing music and performing. I had reached a stage in my mid-40s where I had to make a decision about whether I was going to finally learn to play the guitar or learn a new foreign language. So I got to a point where I was either going to learn to speak Italian or learn to play the guitar, and I had to make a decision. And after a great deal of reflection, I decided that it was time to take the plunge and learn to play the guitar. So I started taking lessons after a 30-some-odd year hiatus, and I do not regret that decision at all.
Very cool. I'll say awesome story to share. Now, you're a veteran and a self-proclaimed Army brat, per se. So
Right.
How has growing up around the world and even being in the military yourself influenced the way that you write?
Sure. So I'm a storyteller by nature, and I've been really lucky throughout my life to have had a lot of different types of experiences. And I feel like the stories that I'm able to tell, whether they're stories that I create or stories that I have gathered from other folks that I've been around, it's an opportunity for me to really share what I've seen and experienced, as well as give other people the opportunity to hear other people's stories about a diverse range of backgrounds and walks of life, really.
Yeah, I mean, what's great about music is it connects everybody together, right?
It absolutely does. I like to say music literally changed my life.
Yes.
Well, speaking of, you have a single that's called The Price of Ambition, and it tells the story from the point of view of a young man who's going through a lot. So can you tell us about the background of that song in particular?
Absolutely. So my very first class ever in college was honors microeconomics, and I will never forget this. The professor walked into the classroom and wrote on the chalkboard, that's how long ago it was a chalkboard, there are always trade-offs. And he said, if you remember nothing else from this class, remember that phrase, there are always trade-offs. And I do remember that. And I've had a chance to reflect on that, since then, that every successful person that I've ever met, no matter what the field, has had to leave something on the table in order to achieve that success. So it's really important to me that if you are going to strive for something, you need to be absolutely prepared to sacrifice whatever it is that you're going to sacrifice in order to get that.
I love that. I think everybody can relate to that in some way.
Absolutely, right.
Absolutely. Well, Dennis, we want to thank you so much for coming in and joining us this morning.
And of course, we'll share all these details right here about where you guys can listen to Dennis. That'll be all on our website, ciproud.com. Just click on the WMBD This Morning tab under News.